For more updates, Professor of Virology, Professor Oyewale Tomori, joins me on TVC News at 7. Prof, you spearheaded Nigeria's effort to kick polio out of Nigeria, and in 2020, we were declared wild polio free. What is this new strain we are hearing about in the country?
Thank you very much, and greetings from Jos, where I am here right now. I listened to the Rotarian. I think we need to get the right information to our people. Yes, Nigeria was declared free of wild polio, but we are still having children being paralyzed with a virus which is called vaccine-derived polio. And that's the polio virus. That's the one that is causing, it has caused 83 cases in Nigeria this year. So when we go out to give information to our people, yes, there's no wild virus in Nigeria, but 83 children in this country up to today, as of this year, have been infected with this circulating vaccine-derived polio virus, which is still causing polio disease amongst our children. I think we need to get that information out to increase our awareness, to let our people know that we are not free of polio disease, but we're free of the wild virus. And anything that is causing polio is still a problem for us. So please, let's get that message out to our people. Don't call Afghanistan and whatever. Yes, they're having their own problem, but we are also having the same children being paralyzed with polio in this country. So let's get that message out.
All right, Prof. So talk to us about this circulating variant poliovirus type 2, that seems to be holding us down and not allowing us enjoy the victory recorded in August 2020.
Part of what happened, the name says vaccine-derived poliovirus. What happens is that when your immunity level is not up to par, or you have children, what you call zero-dose children, not immunized, the vaccine that is used is actually what you call attenuated. It's a weakened virus. That's the polio virus vaccine that we use. But if your immunity is not high enough, that virus can still overcome that immunity and become what we call the vaccine-derived circulating that is circulating right now. You remember during COVID, you're having thinking about mutation. People don't have enough immunity. That virus can overcome the immunity and come up in a new variant. That's exactly the same that is happening. The OPV vaccine, which is used to protect people again, is okay for the average person. But when you have malnutrition, when you have people who get enough doses and all that, and when you have zero children around, we're going to have this virus continue to change and mutate and cause paralysis in our children. So our problem is we need to vaccinate all our children, as many as no child must be left behind. Every child must get that vaccine. Otherwise, we continue to see what we're seeing.
So, Prof, how are we faring with regard to this immunization? Because I realize that a number of states have now been identified as axis of intractable transmission states.
Yeah, of course. If you check those states, you'll find that their immunization coverage is in the low 10s and 11. One of them actually had 11% coverage this year. So when you have only 1/10 of your children covered, the remaining 9 out of 10 are vulnerable and they will get the infection. I haven't mentioned some of those states, but they know themselves. The vaccination rate is so low. In fact, Nigeria has the unfortunate decision of having the largest number of zero-dose children. These are children who have never gotten that vaccine at all at any time. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And I'm really very, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk. Let me also say one thing. You remember the Maiduguri flood that came as they virtually destroyed the second polio lab we have in the country. So it's only the Ibadan lab that is functioning. This is a time for our government to come in. All this money we are spending and wasting on these things, we should put it on this issue. The Maiduguri lab is down because the flood has wiped out virtually everything they have. So we have only one laboratory in Nigeria that is doing the testing for polio. I guess in another few years, we'll be sending our samples to across the country. And because our country, we don't know what is shape, and that's what is killing us.
Prof, I can understand your frustration considering the enormous work that went into getting Nigeria to achieve that wild polio-free status. But why is the vaccination level low? What are we not doing? Is it that people are not going out to get vaccinated, or that these facilities are not available? What exactly is the problem?
It's a combination of everything you can imagine. Let me start with the fact that, sorry to use the word, we all say about it, the Nigerian factor. When people will not take things that are important serious, when we put emphasis on the irrelevancies, and that's what has happened. From the person who is vaccinating to the boss who is in charge, who is supervising, we are all at fault. When you put somebody out on the field and say, go and vaccinate 50 children, he has no vehicle, he has nothing, he has to walk distances to go and do the vaccination. Of course, under the sun, he gets tired. And the first thing he finds a way to sleep. And then to rest. And then you turn around and say, oh, have you finished vaccinating children? The next thing he does, many of them will open those vials and pour the thing out because that's the evidence to show that they have done the vaccination. So the vaccines are being poured to vaccinate the ground, not our children. The supervisor is in charge will not go and supervise those ones, and that's what part of the problem. If the boss supervises his students and provides them with the enabling environment to do the work properly, we won't be where we are today. And I'm saying they call us resource-limited country. We are not a resource-limited country. We are resource-wasting, a resource-squandering country, and we're using our money in the wrong directions. We see it all over. Let's talk what is happening. We know our problem, and we're not ready to solve them. Those children need the vaccines. Vaccines are not even getting to them because we are not given a good environment. Many of the PD and all divisions we have in the country don't even have vehicles to go out and do their work. Yet you go to the ministries and go to all those places, you have liters of cars which have not been used, have been lining up in front of the minister in terms of the commissioner and all those places. What are we doing to ourselves?
All right, Prof. We hope that, this will be a call to action to ensure that, like we celebrated in 2020, we are again able to say that we have successfully kicked polio out of Nigeria. Professor of Virology, Professor Oyewale Tomori, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.